Tonight, crucial new evidence in the manhunt for the suspect in the targeted killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. This backpack, found in Central Park after air and ground searches, police believe is linked to the shooter seen in surveillance video. Two senior law enforcement officials say no gun was found inside. What was found? A jacket and Monopoly money. The NYPD says nothing in their investigation so far suggests the killing was related to Thompson's personal life.
The net is tightening, and we're going to bring this person to justice.
I'm 100% invested at this point. 100% invested. This is a heck of a way to end the year. I will say that. It's around Christmas time. And aside from the UnitedHealthcare CEO's passing, I will say that this is probably a mayor's and a police chief's worst nightmare. Gotta be the worst nightmare, because now you're on the clock, you're on the hook. I watched the first 48. I know that the chances of you catching a killer significantly decreases after the first 48 hours, and it's been way longer than 48 hours. And this gotta be their worst nightmare. Now, the dude is basically playing with him. He's basically playing with him. Like, ain't no way. Okay, so either he just laying low for like the next 2 months and he probably got a little cellar. I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie with Denzel Washington and the guy that actually robbed the bank, and then he actually was sitting in the bank and he made up a fake wall and all of that stuff or whatever, so on and so forth. Either he doing that or he long gone. And he already plotted and set up how he wanted them to find certain things and all of the symbolism that came along with it. Monopoly money, carving out names or a whole, quote inside of the cartridges and stuff like that. He is 100% playing with them. I don't think that they're going to catch him. And again, this is a mayor's and a police chief's worst nightmare.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams says details like whether or not police have an ID on the shooter are being closely held.
We don't want to release that now. If you do, you're basically giving a tip to the person we're seeking, and we do not want to give him an upper hand at all.
Sound like he already got the upper hand. They're saying that they are releasing certain information at certain times or things that they think will make sense. But they also need to go ahead and put away that little $10,000. Hey, if the people really care about him, if the UnitedHealthcare really care about him, if his family really care about him, they would subsidize that little $10,000 that they're trying to tell you to go and get John Wick with. Because the dude seemed like he John Wick. I wouldn't want to chase him down. I'll reserve what my real thoughts are until after we get through a little bit more of this video, because I want to make sure that I get all of the details.
But there are new details about the suspect. New York City's chief of detectives providing a timeline based on video footage to reporters. The shooter arrived in New York on Sunday, November 24th, and was caught on camera at the Port Authority bus terminal near Times Square. The bus he took originated in Atlanta, though it's not clear when the shooter got on, given that there were several stops on the way to New York. The shooter then took a taxi to the area where the shooting occurred. It was there for about a half hour before heading to a hostel on the Upper West Side, where he possibly provided a fake ID to check in. He checked out of the hostel on Friday, November 29th, but checked back in the next day. While at the hostel, the suspect had two roommates who say he kept his mask on even when eating, lowering it only when taking a bite of food.
So he's disciplined. So here I'm wondering, are they using some form of AI to put together a composite for even that picture that they put out to everybody of what the person possibly looked like? Or did he even really take down his mask for a minute? But the dude was disciplined. He probably slept in that mask.
And according to a senior law enforcement official, in this one moment upon his initial arrival when flirting with a woman who worked at the front desk,
always a
the
woman.
Shooter left the hostel at 5:30 a.m. the morning of the shooting.
Always flirt.
After the shooting,
never get distracted. It's a woman that's going to get y'all caught.
Traveling by bike up to Central Park, then by taxi further uptown to a bus terminal where police believe he boarded a bus out of New York City. And from there, the trail goes cold. So he comes up over here and comes in on this part of the Port Authority. That's where the NYPD last sees him. But he could be right up here and over the George Washington Bridge and out of town on a bus pretty easily.
Absolutely, Tom. By going into this Port Authority terminal, there's nothing binding that states he needs to be in there and catch a bus. So he can be over the bridge and in the wind, and we won't know it.
Darren Porcher is a former lieutenant with the NYPD. You're looking up at a camera, or you're looking over here at a camera on the side of a store. Walk me through the process.
This is a very unique area. We have a lot of hustle and bustle. We have far more cameras in a place like this based on the dense population as well as the commercial properties that are here.
Police are now investigating if the weapon may be a veterinary gun used to put down animals.
This is a very rare weapon.
This dude is Anton Shakur from No Country from Old Men now.
In essence, this is a needle in a haystack, but we have a lot of needles in this one haystack, which works in our favor in law enforcement to apprehend this violent assailant that's on the streets.
Police also clarified the detail about words written on shell casings, saying they were depose, delay, and deny, written in Sharpie, one word on each shell casing, a possible reference to frustration with the health insurance industry.
And Tom joins me now from where that shooting occurred on Wednesday. Tom, the investigation in this case now well beyond New York City.
Oh, that's right, Jose. The NYPD sending its detectives.
And if he used a fake ID to do all of those things and they don't know who he is, he could very much be gone in the wind. Gone. Like, who's to say he's even still in the United States of America, considering that it's not like they knew who he is if they don't know who he is. Or he could very much be here.
Georgia officials say the Atlanta Police Department says they're going to assist them back here in New York City tonight. Investigators are out in Central Park looking for more evidence and trying to find that gun. Jose?
Thanks for watching.
If they can't catch this guy, it's an absolute embarrassment. Worst case scenario, here's the worst case scenario, though. The worst case scenario is that he's walking around with a list and he's patient enough to move along with it. And let me tell you what makes it even more dangerous. What makes this thing the most dangerous situation ever is that he don't have a bunch of people that's fearful. He actually has a bunch of people on social media, from what I see inside of the comments and from what I see in reaction videos, actually not necessarily disagreeing with him. That's what makes it super dangerous. And hopefully, man, listen, I don't believe that anybody needs to be losing their life. I'm not an advocate for that. That's not what I move on, so I got to stick with that. And hopefully, this is the end of it. But it looks like it's going to be a very, very difficult situation in catching this guy. If he in that type of space, if he was able to be that disciplined, if he never even pulled his mask down to eat, a couple different things. A, this guy truly probably is John Wick in real life. And then B, I wouldn't want to be his enemy. These are the type of people that you fear. You don't fear the people that react emotionally. You got to start fearing the people that plan, plot, and is the Gerard Butler from the movie where him and Jamie Foxx and you know what I'm saying, he was going against the whole Justice Department and the justice system. Heck of a way to end 2025. Weird as hell, but definitely weird when it comes to covering this. I'm going to stay on top of it, but more importantly, I'm curious as to what you guys think about this guy having monopoly money inside of the backpack that he allowed for them to find. Crazy. And by the time that they started reporting it on the news, he was already going in the wind. He did the same thing that the illegal migrants do. He used the e-bike to get away. And anybody that's ever been in New York City knows that you do not drive a car. You're better off walking and catching a bike. But he also understood the technology, and he was disciplined enough to never pull his mask down, except for when he was flirting with a woman. Wild. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Tap into the Patreon. Phenomenal. We got Block Club coming up. And get your tickets to come and kick it with me December 14th in Detroit. I love y'all. I appreciate you. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.